Okay, so this one is going to be very long. This one is from December 23rd. Okay. So I had this dream where Lindsey and I were, it was kind of like Minecraft, like we're underneath the level, underneath our house, and we're slowly crawling towards each other. And there was this shaped charge that was going to like blow to the surface. It's like, that was interesting. And so it looked like the shaped charge was like 4 spaces ahead of her. And so around that time, we got this rat in the attic in the garage, which is crazy because Dalton said he's like never had a rat here, never had a problem with them. And so they have a regular exterminator, and the exterminator set up traps. I go, Dalton, something's wrong. I can feel the timing is too perfect, and it just doesn't seem right. It's too perfect. It's something demonic. I can also feel that it's demonic. I can sense it. And he goes, okay, sure. Like, he's known me long enough not to discount anything, but that doesn't mean he's gonna like just jump in right away and believe it. And about 4 days later, he goes, hey, you remember when you said that rat was demonic? And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I just found out it was chewing on the gas line. I was like, oh my God, wow. So he put this wire mesh around the gas line, and eventually they caught it. So that was interesting. So sometimes when I'm right, I'm right. A dream where Lindsey and I like develop not like secret codes, but secret codes so she can like tell me when she's uncomfortable and when she wants to leave, or but she'll just say words and I'll know what's going on, and then we can like usher her away. Get out of a situation, disengage. Let's see. Okay, in that same dream, I was driving, going back and forth. I was on the freeway driving for a while. Pulled up to a spot. Oh, this is interesting. Driving a while. Pulled in as far as I could to this garage, and then turned around, parked like it's an open garage. Tires in the garage. So change the tires. Change my way of life going forward. New type of trek. Refreshing. Looked back for a second, it was all clear, so everything going backwards is good. Because remember, I was worried because I tripped over porn in August that it still might be affecting things, and God saying no, like everything's clear leading up to this moment. Pulled in, and then I woke up. I woke up from my sleep and it was time to go. So I mean, it'd be nice if that was me saying it's time to go, but quick flash. So that's when I fall asleep for a second. I get a load of information. A guy that looked like, so I saw like how handsome my handsome level will be to Lindsey, and it was quite dashing. It was like one of those muscular fighting men back from the, I don't know when, 50s, 40s. But I saw a version, like I saw him, so I saw the version of me she finds really attractive, which is to say me, but it's like how I look to her. And he had some posters, 3 of them, and he comes like bounding down the hallway, and he goes, hey, where should these go? And I guess in here, like, because I have posters in my room. And then I wake up, so I'm thinking it's like these like a movie is not like a celebration. Just like cool moments in like time. You look forward to a movie. And so So the dates, so I believe the dates are saved now. So like, because I had that vision where Lindsey was baptized, I think things are moving now, because that was definitely a pivotal moment that heaven wanted to secure, was her faith in Christ. So there are 3 posters. So I think the meeting, the wedding, and the ceremony. And then let's see. I wake up talking about work. Guess it's time to go. I was talking to someone, a manager. I was trying to go. I didn't have a lot of time left. Full break. I drove to grab some food. So this one I didn't understand at first. But I realized it's saying I'm at work and I went to grab some food. So I don't think it'll take the full 14 days of the fast. I really hope it doesn't. And so I think I break my fast. Whenever I break a fast, I go and get some good food. I don't know that it's the healthiest, but like, so I went and I got some, I went to the grocery store and well, in the dream I went to Wiener Schnitzel, but I think what I'll do is I'll end up going to a grocery store and making some chili dogs, because, you know, I like Sonic the Hedgehog and I like chili dogs. Maybe I'll even go and watch Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh yeah, and then I was saying when I was recording it, it was 7 days in, no, 7 hours in. So I think that's 7 days, 7.5 days. We'll find out. So if you're just tuning in, I am fasting because I want Lindsey to have her dream come true, which was to meet her, what did she say, her other half, the love of her life, by Christmas. And I'm trying to help fuel heaven's and die, because heaven's work is like God does stuff, but he also wants to do stuff with us and like through us and encourage us and motivate us and teach us how to have lots of oomph. And so I'm fasting because that's like a big deal in the Bible, to fast. You really like connect with heaven, and you know, you're sacrificing food to be like, God, like I am here. So I want to keep Christmas running. Like you can see the lights are still behind me. So like the presents are still in my room. The Christmas tree's in the closet. And so if this does, I want to keep this as long as I can. So that way Lindsey gets her dream come true, because I would definitely like to be that Prince Charming for her. I went out through a gate. Yeah, so this makes me look like I'm leaving the fast, because it's a voluntary fast. So like the gate didn't stop me. 10 minutes later, I thought I was gonna have not a lot of time. 7, I got food. I had like 10 minutes left to eat it. So I think she gets a hold of me, and then I'm like, all right, when are we gonna talk? Or I saw from her point of view once, we were gonna talk, we're gonna FaceTime. So she was like, oh, it's gonna be like a video date. So she was really excited. And so I'm probably like, cool, like 30 minutes, I probably like go grab some food, come back, eat real fast. Because when you haven't eaten in a few days, like you just kind of slow down mentally. Turn around and go back in. There's an ambulance on the freeway that's going the opposite way. I had sirens on. So moved a little bit. And so the emergencies, so I don't have to worry, because like the emergencies that could come by are not involving you. Like heaven is taking care of all the emergency criteria. I kept going. It's really weird. And then that's where I was driving. I pulled to the right and parked and turned around and went back in. I can almost see it. Driving, so that's a fast. Pulled over. So I probably am in the middle of things when I get the message. And then it's time to like go back in. So it's time to like leave fasting and go back into reality. Okay, flash. This one was really weird. It was like a spearhead being put down and crushed under the heel and being put into a wastebasket. And so at first I thought like a wastebasket, like a basket you put stuff in, but I think it was when you say wastebasket, you like throw it away. Yeah, and that would make sense because like it's like I'm 40. It's frustrating, like waiting to find your bride. So I understand Lindsey's frustration too. And so you have to kind of keep the voice of discouragement in your head calm, but I can break it off now. Like I'm fine. I don't have to be contentious with myself. All right, new dream. I don't get this one. Someone wants to paint my house. Oh yeah. So I think it's the forces of evil that follow Lindsey, because I'm pretty well protected, especially since my mom's always praying for me. So someone wants to paint my house. It'll look like, you know, the soda, when you get like a case of 12 sodas, they're going to paint it look like that. And then the side was open. I'm like, so you're not trying to paint it. You're trying to disguise it and have it actually be unlocked. So you can just walk in and out whenever you want. Like the amount of spiritual dilemma that chases Lindsey is just amazing. I mean, it makes sense because she's so popular, but like, dear Lord. And they wanted to paint a spider on it. I'm like, great. So you're just trying to set me up for evil, and you're trying to use similar themes to my childhood. So that way I'll think it's just this painting so you can get away with it. No, like I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. So then I was looking through a keyhole to see if everything's ready, and I was able to peer into her heart. There was one cube left. So cube is like, I'm trying to figure out a short way to explain it. Most people work in foundations. I work in solid material. And so a cube means there's like one more piece of solid information or work that I have to work at. Which isn't bad. It means things are going. And today I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I need to stop thinking about this, like when it's going to happen, and more of what's in place between me and the finished result. As God said in a dream, it's not about how far you've come. It's about how high you fly your kite. How high your kite can fly, how high you fly your kite. So it's like, it's not about how far we're going, but like there's an exponential curve. So the more you go this way, the more you're going that way, or the more you're accomplishing. Because you get better and better and better and better. So at first, like you're only doing like one accomplishment, and then 2, and then 4, but then you go to like 16, and then you go like 128, and then you're at like 2,000, and then your next step is like 4,000, and it's 100,000. So God is with respect to like what Lindsey and I want, which is both to be married and hopefully to each other. But God wants to accomplish a lot too. He wants to like grow up his children and help his children and da-da-da-da. So I'm basically looking inside, seeing if there's anything I can do and add and whatnot. And that's pretty much what I do. I pray for her, and I'll get visions, and then I'll pray for her some more. So it looks like there was one other thing. I think that might have been the baptism, but there might be more. I can... looks like a dam. Oh, what is it? It's Sam from Supernatural. I think that's his name. The brown-haired guy that's really tall. He was pouting and jumping up and down, but then he looked like Leon from Resident Evil 4. And then he looked like Leon from Final Fantasy VIII. So that was kind of interesting. So like, at first I stepped into the supernatural, and it was really like a lot, especially as I had to work out the things that were causing me to trip over porn. And then we have Leon. That's interesting. Leon from Resident Evil, and then Squall's also called Lionheart. The Lionheart. Well, that's a good compliment. So then we have the like cop. He's like a Secret Service like police officer who like goes in and rescues the maiden and pulls her out. So I guess you could compare us. Oh, that's a lovely comparison. Thank you, God. And then Final Fantasy VIII. He's one of my favorite characters, also called Leon. All three of these guys fight supernatural evil. And then, yeah. Okay. And then another dream where Lindsey and I are playing games like pool. So that was cool during Christmas season. This one's random. My roommate Dalton yelling through his kitchen window at the dog or something while doing dishes, so cleaning up. And then there's a grandfather clock. So I think he's straightening up and getting in tune with things. Like he's in sync with the timing of heaven. The timing of heaven. So that, I mean, that would suggest Lindsey does show up, because if she does, like, he said he has to acknowledge just everything. Because he's seen like 2 big miracles, but he says if this happens, like, he'll pretty much believe me and follow my advice for everything, and like kind of more aligned with Christianity than just doing what his heart feels is okay. Okay, let's see. I see a green tree. Behind it is my white tree. So I think God is possessing Christmas. And then I see a light lighting up the green tree. So that's like that light of heaven on this Christmas time. Like we're having like a small Christmas here. So yeah, I mean, just look at all this encouragement and love God is giving us. Yeah. The department store. Oh yeah, there was things like a grippy claw that used to pick up stuff on the floor. It was like that. And it gripped this weird like fish. And it pulled something off like a tag. Like how much it was worth. It pulled it and popped it right off. And I think just because Lindsey has a financial strength that I don't, I can like get some clothes without really worrying about if it costs like $10 or $20. Like a tall container of water. I remember that. It was like a quaif of water. It was like a really big, like tall glass that was like, it was almost like a vase. It was so big. Oh, maybe it was a vase. No, maybe. Anyway, it was huge. So I think that was all the like spiritual water from our journey to satiate us over the next period of our lives, or this holiday season, or just showing how much God is present. Oh, I need to increase my gift again. Let me offload this video and I'll figure this out. Okay, my roommate is playing pool in the garage, so you might hear some noises. Okay, so I figured out. I was able to have heaven increase my gift of dream interpretation. And there's enough spiritual content for us to get through for the whole Christmas. So we're gonna have plenty to talk about. Because like I need to tell her about the gifts, and she needs to like learn and listen about that, because they're a very big breath of things that they can accomplish. And you know, probably be good for her to for me to tell her all the people I've given gifts to and what I plan to do. So does sweet, and then after that we'll get to the sweet parts of what's going to happen, what God has planned. And some on New Year's, yeah. Then I wrote base is under construction. Base, huh? And that was interesting. My ears popped. Seems kind of like pressure. And then I saw myself in front of the Griffith Observatory. So a heavenly place with heavenly visage. But it was like a courthouse. So I keep thinking we like elope and then have a ceremony later. I go to the left and she goes to the right inside. Yeah, so that makes me think it even more so. Or at least we're maybe planning our wedding, because it did look kind of like in the distance. Can you get married at the Griffith Observatory? Huh. First floor, orange ladders, goes all the way up. So I think I'm now seeing the base of operations being built for our union, or maybe this is involving my ministry, our ministry. Okay, next one. Is this the only other side of the window? The other side. Okay, so we got a looking glass situation here. On the other side of the looking glass is a virtual person, like a maiden, inside of a wreath. So that's good. That's just heaven showing us like beauty and like givingness, and probably a picture of things to come. And she looks kind of like Alice in Wonderland. She has I think she has a white dress with a blue apron, maybe. Oh, and then she was wearing like a hard hat. It was like yellow with like, I think it was like construction, but also like a helper. So I think she's up for the construction of this. I think she might really be good about that. One of my coworkers was screaming and yelling a lot. I think he wants to be included now in this journey. I think he wants the gifts because he was real on the fence about it. Actually, I think he was on the other side of the fence, but I think I've hired enough people away from my current job in the future that he wants to be a part of it. Oh, yeah. And so we pulled this kid down from this elevator that was like really high up. And so we're like hosing it off. And he's like, no, I don't want to. And so I think it was the immature child inside of me is gone now. Because that part of my mind is being cleaned out. Maybe there's some parts of me that just only my wife gets access to. Certain maturities I will don when she comes in the picture that I won't don otherwise. Lily is doing incredible with her gifts. Because basically one of my coworkers is kind of talking, so I'll hear him. And then Lily is talking and interacting. So that's a really good sign, because she was like interacting out. Like I could see that she was able to cut through dream space because she has the gift of knowledge and discernment. So she's working kind of in a higher dimension from reality. Oh yeah, and then somebody said, this is another reason why I think we might elope maybe, is there was someone at work saying, and he's like bounding down the line, so that's like happy and celebration, and he goes, don't come back without a baby. And I think it was me. I think it was me talking to me from the future, which makes sense. I've seen everyone else in the future. I might as well see myself too. And then my coworker had a white do-rag on. I think he's just kind of being comedic. didn't see someone else, so I think I hired her too. What am I doing? There was an Nintendo 64, and I like opened it up, and there was like Mario 3 in it. Like it was a golden cartridge, so you think like one of the Zelda games, because they always came with a gold cartridge edition. But it said it was Mario 3, so a lot of levels, but one of the best-selling games of all time. So I'm thinking, not only did we have this incredible journey that had a lot of levels to it, I think everyone else is going to want to do this too, and they will ask God to have such an adventure. And you should just ask him, be like, hey, I want that, I want that, I want that. Just remember, you have to pace yourself and be patient. This is not a game you win. This is a journey you explore and savor. Because if I would have tried to just rush to Christmas, I would have lost my freaking mind. And every day I was like, nope, we're going to take our time. We're going to move slowly. We're going to soldier on. Like, we've got this. Yeah, I was holding a box under my arm, so I guess it's like the last one. I'm walking out with it. Oh, yeah. I was saying something about me, so I think I'm talking to myself, or I think God was speaking through me. I'm just, moving something. I had a cat and then locking eyes with me, and then like $87 something. So I think I know how much I'm going to pay one of my lieutenants. I call her the full moon cat because I was trying to give her the gifts, and she kept being busy at work. I'm like, this is weird. She's like really busy. Like I could feel supernaturally she was kept away from me. And so I kept praying, and finally she shows up. I give her the gifts, and then 3 days later she goes, oh, did you know it was a full moon 3 days ago? And I go, well, do you know what that means? She goes, what? I'm like, you got your gifts on the full moon. And she was like core memory just like detonated with light inside of her heart. Poor cat wants into the garage. Okay, so I was at the train tracks. There was this greasy knoll, like a hill, that reminded me of another dream where there was a grassy hill. I was climbing up over the hill, and there was train tracks, and they were very much train tracks. I wrote, I love you, God. So I think I'm finally crossing over to the other side. So we're now transitioning from the wind up to the pitch. We're now going from like getting through this, and now we're on the other side. So now it's probably going to switch to like things are starting to happen, and it's probably going to happen faster and faster, 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 faster. So we'll see what happens. I was talking to my roommate. My other friend was there, and then I remember Lindsey was actually standing like right over here. And she was eating cereal, and someone had walked into our backyard, and she like froze like a jackrabbit. She was like, and the person like looked in and looked out, and but I think he was related. I think it was my roommate's brother, and I told my roommate about that, and he's like, yeah, if my brother finds out, he'll tell everyone. I was like, oh, I'm not telling anyone about her coming over, because I mean I should probably. Like 3 of my friends at work know I have these prophetic dreams, so I talk with them to work it out and make sure I don't lose my mind. I had this dream, I had that dream. They just kept kind of help me air out my thoughts. But then after that, I'm like, all right, I'm not telling anybody. My 4 friends at work know. I trust them completely. My roommate knows. He's not going to tell anybody. But I was like, I'm not telling anyone else, because that was weird. And she just like straightened up like a jackrabbit. I was like, whoa, okay. Let's see. I thought Dalton. Okay, so my roommate Dalton was standing next to his wall, and there was a color swatch. Right, it had these 4 different colors, and it was like huge. Like the whole swatch was like this. I think I got it. Because the girl that shows up, she shows up as a Starbucks cup holder. She's really tall. And then Dalton says, well, let's fold you up and get you inside. I think she might be, I don't know, 6'2", maybe? 6'4"? Because the swatch was taller than Dalton. And Dalton's like 5'10". So she might be 6'2", 6'4", and so she's choosing colors because I think because I've told Dalton he's going to marry one of Lindsey's friends or girls that she has come over, and so it's another reason I think we might elope, because we'd each want a witness. And then I had dreams about Dalton marrying someone and having to like talk to her, and yeah, so that makes sense. I didn't think about that because the swatch was the same height as the Starbucks cup holder that was on its side. And Dalton's like a really giving guy, so he'd be really genuine and genuous with like how if she wanted to like paint and redesign his house. Yeah, and I also saw that he had 5 kids with her. So let's see how much battery I have left. Okay, so I'm back. I should put some product in my hair, but I'm tired. I've almost done, I've been fasting for 19 hours. So, gotta get that Christian power on overdrive, get my Super Saiyan moment. Okay, so let's see. The next bullet point. So I saw my friend's boyfriend at work, and I have a really big heart for her. I really love this woman. She I've seen visions of her future wedding. I've seen visions of her getting the gifts. I've seen visions of her becoming a believer of Jesus. So let's see. Now I'm seeing her boyfriend. He's dark, like he's ready to absorb some light. You are past me. Yeah, so I think he's getting filled with Christ. It's just, he's taking his time, which is fine. I had a flash. Let's see. I was fine. I could sleep again. I had another one. It was fine. I could sleep again. Okay. The door open or something. So I'm hoping that's Lindsey about to walk into Neverland down the rabbit hole. But I'm going to continue to pray. Wow, that's interesting. So in my dream, I go... Oh, no, that's my notes. We should pray for things to continue because it looks like we're walking and talking the story out. All right, next point. I did turn the light off. Okay, so I built this really cool thing for Christmas. Because the plan was Lindsey would get my room and I would take the couch. And so I built this really cool Christmas fairy display. Really cute, but I don't want to show pictures of it just yet. So I'm asleep and the lights are on. And I'm like, that's cool. So I think God is turning Christmas back on. Like Christmas is over and he's turning on all the decorations. The way was in the space was still waiting. And it was interesting is in my soul, I could feel how much I loved her. Like my soul was just like, it was like this squeezing feeling, and there's just this fire and pressure. And I was like, whoa, oh my goodness. Just to be possessed by like an all-encompassing love was great. Let's see. Now that the overtime happened, this one felt very actual. I think I'm still working on overtime when I wrote this dream down. Heavenly moment, heavenly crafted scene. It feels so important. Mercy. I'm seeing a flash territory, checking at the corner. The colors, tiny room pools. Yeah, I had some sort of heavenly moment, and I don't quite remember it. I've had to learn to be more descriptive when I record my dreams now, because sometimes it's like been a few days. I wrote down renew. Hamper full of my work shoes. Yeah, so I think I'm done with my work shoes, which is cool. So I think because we get married, it's time for a career change. Because obviously I'd want to follow her. My main calling is ministry, so I'm just at my current job to do that. Okay, this one was weird. Dining room, but it's longer by like an extension. And there's something on there. It was like a leash. Oh, maybe taken off the leash. Oh, okay, so it's off the leash now. And I have a flash. A celebration party. I think I could see my wedding from now. I wrote spells, but I remember it wasn't like magic spells, like a spell of time. And then I said, like, yeah, it's like down the hill and close. I remember that dream. Yeah, I could see the wedding party. So within 3 months now? January, February, March? I wouldn't be upset. I saw one of the presents taken out of the box, one of the gifts or something. Empty room. So this one made sense. I cleaned my room, so it's nice and like empty in the center of it. And I took all the Christmas presents off the table and I put them in this big like bin, and I put the bin in my bedroom. And so I think I'm pulling them back out and putting it on the table, because, you know, she had this instinct that she would meet her other half, the love of her life, by Christmas. And the thing about Christmas is Jesus' birthday. So if he wants to have 2 birthdays, he can have 2 birthdays. If he can have, you know, a birthday and then kind of like quiet it down, and, you know, he can say he's still celebrating his birthday. So Christmas ain't over yet. Next bullet point. I started something that's going to be Christmas food. It was like deep though. The mystery is so much deeper than I thought. I wish she gets it from early. Does that feel to it? I don't know. Definitely something maybe I wear. Oh, I think there's a lot more godly spiritual depth to herself than she did 4 months ago. And that makes sense. I'm like praying for her a lot, helping with the spiritual warfare, I'm praying for everyone around her to like calm and focus. I'm praying for anyone that's antisocial to be distanced. So I'm trying to make her life as productive, seamless, and simple and straightforward as possible. Okay, over the garage, up and to the left was a device. I don't know what it did. It brought in gas from the outside or something. So I think we're fueling up this last compartment of space before we get to go. So that's fine. It's nice that we're being told, okay, like cutting into my heart or something. I don't know, maybe it's like a socket plug. And yeah, I felt that one. That one was, I'm like, whoa, something's like cutting into me. And then like, I think plugging in. There's an announcer like Mr. Beast. There's some supplies we had to get into place, and then we kind of had to navigate it. Oh yeah, this one was really good, really encouraged me. But in my dream, there was only 5 big steps to get it done. So that's not bad. So 5 big steps. We can do 5 big steps, right? We're like almost there. Yeah, I don't want to really theorize because it doesn't look like it's a time issue. It looks like it's a issue. Like I have to get a certain amount of work done. All right, let me do this one, then I'll let you in. Yeah, and then to like a Mr. Beast show big production. And that's kind of one of the things I want to do is start doing like Mr. Beast type content, but where we like heal people and do supernatural and do miracles. All right, let me let the dog in. Okay, next point. There was this door that was the front door, but I think it was the door to his personality, his heart, and the top weren't open. Yeah, so my roommate had a relationship. It's like his business to share, but he had a relationship that didn't work out. So I think he's cautious. And I saw his front door, and I saw like the top part, the window. I saw him like peer out. So I think the internal part of his heart is cautious. So Lindsey, whoever your super tall friend is, that's like 6'4", I think he's just cautious that like this is for real. Because when she shows up, he's going to recognize it. So he's going to be like, whoa. Yeah, it looks like he's guarded in 5 ways, so he'll slowly unpeel. Or it might be a 5-part journey to his story with her. Yeah, I wrote, I love him and I love this. He's just a real great guy. It'd be interesting. I can imagine one of her friends being like, I want a guy with gifts. He has gifts. Someone with a black sock, one black sock. He leaned way over. But he didn't vibe really well. He was like a mysterious changer that just didn't check out. I think he's someone that wants to be part of this. I wonder if maybe he's like a producer friend of hers. Because producers have to be really good at just like walking into situations, taking control, making things productive, moving on. But with the gifts, they're not just party favors. And that's not me saying no. It's really important because like, oh, like you just get turned off and walk away. No. But you got to get right with God. Like you have to talk to God. What I need to work on, what I need to straighten out. Because like, you know, especially people who have money, can you not watch porn? Can you be a one-woman man? Can you not be pro-choice? Like, heaven isn't pro-choice. I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to push anything on people, but when you work in the miraculous, you have to be lined up. And I've made a couple exceptions, but they're the exception. You know, you can't be open marriage. It doesn't matter if your wife is okay with it and the other couple's okay with it. Like, you don't get to do that. And that's a problem for a lot of people. And I get that. It's tricky, it's tough, but you know, I've only had anxiety once in my whole life. I've never had a panic attack. I've only been depressed 4 or 5 times. Yeah, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Seeing 2 more. This one's interesting. After that, I'm seeing 2 more. So once she gets that one done, after that I see 4 more, and then 2. Oh yeah. So when Lindsey fully gets, I don't know if it's when we soul stitch or when we share gifts, heaven showed me that like everything she's done up to this point to establish herself as this violinist, she can do again. And this time she knows all the steps, so she can jump into something very quickly. And then once she's done this or that, she can do 2 more things, and then she can do 4 more things, and then she can do 8 more things. And heaven didn't stop. It was like, then she can do 16 things, then she can do 32 things, then she can do 64 things, then she can do 128 things. And she's like, because the process will become very clear and easy to navigate. So if she's thinking, can I still be a violinist? The answer is no. You can be like 128 things. Being a violinist is one of them. And especially when you like get near Josh, you'll like align to that way. Okay, I was pointing to something about Christianity with fervor and vigor. She looked over to see it. I was really intense. I think that it was us having to, because remember, I'm not allowed to fool around until I'm married, because otherwise things get bad. I have what's called the mantles. I have different kingdom authorities, and because I have them, I have to really respect Christianity, and especially since I also operate as a teacher. That was sharp. Anyone who operates as a teacher, like, there's a lot less mercy for when you teach something wrong or do something wrong. Like, you have to be disciplined. So yeah, so the rules are very defined for me. Okay, the next one. This is weird, I thought, and saying, I got you, homie. I think he's saying, Oh yeah, yeah. So my roommate Dalton was like, "I got you, homie," and I was like, "What?" And we actually had that conversation. He's like, "I just need my game room." I'm like, "You can come out. Like, I'm not gonna expect you to hide." He's like, "No, no, no, man, nah. You and her, you spend time together. I got you." And I was like, "That's really generous. Thank you." Like, I love how generous my roommate is. It's weird. Like, how often do you have generous buddies that just like take care of you like that? Then Joe Dawson had an interesting word from God. He talked about urgency, which can be to steward well, which can mean sometimes you have to do things swiftly. And then I wrote down his quote. Because obviously Lindsey's 38 and I'm 44, so we're not going to wait. We're not going to like want to just hang out and see what happens. We're going to want to plan and take action. You know, I know she wants kids, so we'll have to talk about doing that sooner than later. So this prophecy from him, or this word from heaven, seemed to make sense. It was, tell people the Holy Spirit said to reposition yourself for sudden breakthrough. Not position yourself for sudden breakthrough, reposition yourself. When God gives you something, you have to pay attention to details. Don't get weary. And he continued, I met 4 people that said, ever since we repositioned ourselves for old words or prophecy, words of knowledge, or prophecies, we've seen sudden breakthrough. And I have a feeling Christmas came and she might have had like a breakdown, which might be God kind of stripping everything away and being like, look, you have to be about Jesus to work and have a fairy tale ending, because a fairy tale ending would be a supernatural ending. So we have to work with heaven. And so if she became frustrated, which I imagine she would, I did, but I don't get to quit, because if I quit, you guys don't get to know the love of Jesus and have a happy ending. And if I quit and stop working on my gifts, I won't be able to heal people around the world. So to reposition, if Lindsey, if you're listening, it means to like get back on that horse and accept that Christmas hasn't left yet. Like Christmas is still in play, so you can like re-engage. Oh yeah, I've thought about what Lindsey said in her old video, that she felt in her heart that she would meet the love of her life, her other half, by Christmas. Well, Christmas isn't over yet because it's Jesus' birthday, and if he wants to have 2 big bashes over 14 days, he gets to do it. So we can't say Christmas is over. And I don't think it is. I'm still on my vacation. Like, I got the Christmas lights up, the gifts are still there, the tree is still there. We can buy more food. Oh, it's a dog. Next point. What's this one? Everyone wants him to like give up his girl who will be his wife, who will be the mother of his... Oh, I think I was recording. I think I was talking and I didn't hit record right away. So the tall girl becomes my roommate's wife, and they have... Fortune, now you're the big rapper lined up, leaning against a Christmas... What? Something relaxed. You're alone in that thinking, like everyone else wants him to like give up his girl who will be his wife, who will be the mother of his 5 kids. With a flash of a big wrapper paper lined up, leaning against a Christmas box. Suddenly something relaxed in the back of my mind. That was for Dalton though. I saw him having 4 to 5 kids. Oh, that's why, 4 to 5 kids. I asked him about that too. I'm like, hey, how many did you want kids? He's like, yeah, I want 4. I was like, oh, guess my dream is right. Like, would you be okay with 5? And he's like, yeah, we can afford it. And that was weird. I saw 7 spaces ahead of me and then 24, and they were like hexagons. So spaces on the board game map. So I have to move 7 spaces probably to meet Lindsey. And then 24 behind that is like I don't know, maybe 24 days we're together before we have to go back to reality? Maybe. In this dream, I'm walking, saying goodbye to everyone. That sounds like me at work. And this guy comes up to me and says, hey, don't you know? I was like, no, I don't. And he asked me if I need to take a bath, and I was like, no. No, I'm already baptized. There's a sock. I think I was what? Sorry, sometimes speech to text writes weird words. Oh, it was a pop. It was like a football player. So I think it was an ornament. Maybe like a boxed Christmas ornament. Maybe Heaven's comparing me to like an athlete with a golden helmet. Like this will be the time we remember that like Josh came through for us. Me and Lindsey as a family. And remember, I'm not trying to push, like I would definitely love this reality to happen, but I'm not trying to push it. But at the same time, I have to tell you what I believe to be my dreams are saying, because it's no good being someone with the gift of the prophetic if I'm not risking being wrong or right. Like you can't prove you can drive when you're driving in a parking lot. I see a YouTube video and I see Candace Owens. So I think we're going to talk. I think my coworker Patrick that I gave gifts to, I gotta write his name down too. He wants to get hired out of where we work. But that's it. That was really, 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 really long. But yeah, I love you guys. It is 7:14. So in 4 hours, I will have fasted for a whole day. So let's see what happens. Love you guys.